Beauty fam, welcome back to Mickey Car Beauty. I'm Mickey, and on my channel I love to talk about luxury beauty, sometimes unboxings, and today I am going to try on some new products. So I already have my skincare on, and actually we're in summer already, so just a little PSA that try to wear your SPF before applying makeup. So I did try the Supergroup Unseen sunscreen for a while. I tried it out. This has about SPF 40. It didn't work. What I didn't like about it, well, I was looking for something that didn't have white cast. And it's kind of a gel-like texture, but it has a lot of silicone. So I was testing it out and I found that it would feel really hot, like my skin wasn't breathing. It didn't break me out. It just felt really weird, like I had a mask on. So I didn't like that feeling on that product. So I ended up stopping using that Unseen sunscreen by Goop. So I've been trying out two different sunscreens, and these were, I should just caveat, these were given to me as PR. So it was my first PR. I was given some Shiseido sunscreen. So I've been trying out the Shiseido Urban Environment Sun Dual Care. This is an oil-free hyaluronic acid one and has SPF 42, broad spectrum, water resistant for 40 minutes. Sorry, it's getting blown out a little bit. So that's what the product looks like. And it's in this mechanism where you have to shake it. It does have zinc in it. So I'm not really an expert on skincare about natural versus chemical. What I remember hearing is that it's maybe better to have sometimes it's better to have the chemical one. And then I've also been trying this Shiseido Urban Environment Sun Dual Care Fresh Moisturizer Hyaluronic Acid. Again, broad spectrum, SPF 42. And let me show you both of these. And I like them for different reasons. So this one is pretty emollient. This definitely has some oil in it, but it's moisturizing. So you can see that it just goes on the skin really seamlessly. I love it. So my skin looks, it feels really moisturized. It just feels like another level of skincare. And that's why I think for me, generally, I have in the past shied away from SPF because I don't like it feeling like it's chemical or it's masking my face, physically feeling, and that it's giving a white tint. So there's a lot of things that go into factors about that. So it is broad spectrum. And so this is the one that I favor the most. And let me show you the other one. So this is oil-free hyaluronic acid. So if you're have a oily skin, this is something you might want to look into. So I had to shake it up and then I'll put it on here. So it's much more watery. And the thing about this is that if you're my skin tone or deeper, I think it's going to leave a white cast. And you know, the less you put, it's not going to give you as much as a white cast. But as we know, what I've seen, you're supposed to have 2 tablespoons of sunscreen on your face, which is a lot. So the more you put on here, and just showing you more, that you're going to get more of a white cast. So I think if you're lighter than me, paler, you're not going to get that white cast. Let me build it up again because that's going to be more reflective of what, 2 tablespoons is going to look like. So on days I'm not wearing makeup, I actually will use this. So the days I'm not using makeup, which is sometimes on the weekends, and I will end up using that. So you can see, maybe you can't. Yes, you can see. So you can see there's like a slight white cast on this hand. That's the one that's oil-free. Whereas this is actually my natural skin color, right? So there is a slight white cast. So again, if you're lighter than me, it's not going to be a big deal. But if you get any deeper than me, this product is probably not for you. But since I got these in PR, I'm going to use it. I'm finding that these are really good face sunscreens. I really have sensitive skin, so it's kind of hit or miss for me. Last year, I was using the Chantecaille SPF primer, and it's so expensive. What I didn't like about that is that it's not a high enough SPF for my liking. So these are higher. These are SPF 42. What I've read is probably better to be SPF 50. So if you know of an SPF that you've been liking, let me know because I'm still kind of testing out them and figuring it out. But so far, these have been my go-to. So I have this one on my face already, the Fresh Moisture Hyaluronic Acid. And you can see that does, it does like add moisture to your face. So also if you have oily skin and greasy skin, if you have oily skin, that might not be for you, but I have oily skin and I don't mind having this on my skin in the summer. One product I did want to try, and I'm going to do a really quick try on of this, is the Sensai Total Finish Powder Foundation. And I got it in the color TF204 Almond Beige, and I'll put the information below. I subscribe to Beauty Gypsy, and her name is Wafa, and she's been in the beauty industry for quite a while. And so her and I are close foundation twins, and so she swears by this foundation, this powder foundation. And for me, I used to wear a lot of powder foundations. There's something about powder foundations from Japan. I think they really know how to do it. It says to use a sponge, but we'll try it on one side and then a brush on the other side. So this is what it looks like swatched. So we'll try that, okay? And what I do know is that Beauty Gypsy is definitely more true olive tone, and she's probably slightly lighter than me. So I'm guessing this might be a better winter shade. You can see where it's really just more neutral, but it's still workable. And then also I just been out more on the sun, so you're gonna see more of my tan coming through. Okay, so that's it with a sponge. It's not wet. I'm gonna try this really quickly with a brush. Sephora brush, it's a synthetic brush, and just pouncing into there, because this is why I do generally like powder foundations, is that it's just easy to put on. Because I'm about to leave and I just want to add a layer right now. And then I'm curious to see how it's going to do out in the sun. It's a shade, just a hair too light, but it could be workable because I'm going to actually put on bronzer. So what I'm going to do is stop the video now and then report back and then show you what it looks like. Okay, beauty fam. So it's been a couple hours since I put on this Sensai Foundation, and I'm just going to do, what I'm going to do is actually really quick first impressions of this product. So again, it's a powder foundation from Japan, and I had heard a lot about it from an influencer, so I thought I'd try it. This is what I could probably say. I'll try it out again, but I guess first impressions, I don't know if it's actually the best color fit. So it is a bit more kind of olive tone than I probably am starting to lean. So you can see here on the back of my hand always ends up being right here, tends up being more tan, and it's a little bit more true to color, depending on, sorry, I have a bruise here. So the outside is very dark, deep, and then it starts to be gradations, and then inside my hand, it gets to be more pale. And so I think it's almost, this could be a really good color for someone who is more of a neutral olive undertone. And because I'm getting deeper, I don't think it's the best color for me now. I think, obviously, it's like, I bought this, I'm going to play with it more. But what I'm going to do is actually just show you how it builds up. So the more I build it up, it looks too light. And it's almost like the undertone is off. And it's because I am getting warmer. And it's just so interesting. Like in the winter, when I'm at my palest, I almost turn neutral green olive. And that has to be, honestly, me having to be vitamin D deficient. Because I live here in the Northwest, and my heritage of people come from an island culture where I'm supposed to be getting sun every day. So I'm definitely, I feel like super pale in the winter. Let me look in a mirror, because this doesn't come with a mirror. I just ended up getting a refill because I wasn't wanting to commit to a whole, container if I wasn't sure about this product. I think I'm going to end up using this more in the winter. I do think it's a little thick. Like, it reminds me a little bit of the Danessa Myricks Balm, Creamy Balm. So I'm going to grab it. Even say that the shade 4 is a probably better match for me. And you can see that it's warmer. This is more neutral or olive. So let me do a swatch of the Danessa Myricks Balm. So you can see there's more of a yellow undertone, then it blends more. Do you see that? So even if I blend it out, it disappears on the skin. Whereas this, it's almost giving me just slightly, I'm going to say the A word, a slightly ashy appearance. So, I'm kind of disappointed because I actually ordered this through an overseas vendor. I mean, I'm not going to, you know, be upset about it. I mean, this is part of makeup, is you play and then you figure it out. So what I'm going to do is and some of you might do this too, I have a box of winter shades of foundations and then summer shades. And there's some that are the all year round that I can get away with depending on, you know, what's the season. And so this will definitely go in my winter to light shade. Winter, it's very light. I can't wear this in the summer. So I already know, I'm like looking through my stuff. So my foundation that's going in the, it's too light. This is definitely a winter shade. Shade is the Sensai in TF204 Almond Beige, and then the Lisa Eldridge number 17. And I knew that going in that my summer shade would likely be 19 for Lisa Eldridge. So I'm gonna probably put these aside just to make room for my winter foundation. And I'm actually going to pull the 040, the old Cle De Peau Radiant Cream Foundation, which I'm going to swatch for you now. I think it's a little bit also too light for me you see that, in the summer. It definitely has more of a golden undertone where you can really see this starts to get a little ashy. This is somewhere in between here, but you can see it's just too light. So I already know, just like some of you have a lot of makeup, you start to have in your head and you eyeball in your head like already which shades are going to be too light. And so the shades that end up being for me kind of like in between would be the Chanel BD 51. And then when it gets too dark, I have the BD 61 and I combo it for my summer shade. My first impressions, I think, you know, it's okay. I don't know. I can't say because it's hard to make an impression on how it's going to be when the color is off, but it's kind of like a medium coverage. It really does remind me of the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm powder, but I'd have to say that I think I like the Blurring Balm powder more because it just looks a little bit more seamless than this. Around this area, and maybe it's because it's light, it starts to look like it's like really cakey and foundation-y. So yeah, so that's it. I don't want to say any more. I just want to do a really quick first impressions of the Sensai, and I actually quite honestly, I'm interested in hopping over. I'm gonna whip this stuff off and then do a quick face of the Chanel. So you'll see that video come up too after this. I want to try the new Beige Water Fresh Complexion Touch in B40. And if some of you are already following me on Instagram, you know that I already tried this product in B50, which is my Chanel shade, and it was already 2 shades too dark, 1 or 2. So I'm really wanting to see if this works. So that's it, beauty folks, beauty fam. Thanks for joining me today. And as always, please be very kind to yourself and others and just be you. Until the next video, take good care. Bye.